Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. I hope that you're enjoying the series. I'll put the link in the description below to the entire series if you'd like to catch up on any videos that you missed or start from the beginning. Enjoy. All right, folks, so we are just 1 minute before market open, and I have my account pulled up here. SLQT got absolutely slaughtered after earnings, down almost 40%. Zuo is the only thing that I have that's even remotely offsetting it. But, the problem often is with earnings plays and with most things in general, the elevator down is much faster and harsher than the elevator up. So I went ahead and I basically looked for some runners this morning, and I made myself a day list here. Now I'm gonna just get rid of these because I need to catch, as you know, I need to start catching just some good trades to get this account back on track. So we're obviously in a pretty tough position right now. I might set this one with a trailing. Yeah, I'll set this one with a trailing stop of just 1%. That's fine. And then, but these others I'm going to get rid of because I'm going to try to use my day trades today. I'm thinking I might try to grab one this morning, and then the other, around lunchtime or so, as things potentially cool off. And that'll allow me to hopefully catch a couple of good day trades here. Because at this point, I mean, it's like there's just such a crazy difference between what happens in my larger accounts and what's happening with this $100 accounts. And I can unpack that, a bit as we go through. But I want to watch these for the time being to see if we get any good runs going. I'm looking for a couple of things. Obviously, I'm looking at the MACD for a good entry point. I'm looking for this to establish over these MAs, especially, the volatility at open might bring it down to this 200 MA or very, very close to it, and then showing strength above it. So I'm looking at that on these plays. I'm looking for the volume to continue to be strong on these ones with so many digits are annoying because they cut off the volume. So you see here that volume, it's going to pretty soon reach the the average daily volume. GSMG being a slug at the moment. I'm going to move that down. Ride also being a bit of a slug. I mean, you can just tell from the candlestick, right? The ones that are going crazy. Like this. And like this. Obviously different from, this isn't that bad, but much different from like what we saw going on with Ride, where it's not moving that quickly. Yeah, see, this is not moving as crazily as these are. But I'm going to give these a few minutes to breathe, see where they want to settle, and then try to make some good decisions here. UUU has a crossover here. It's a good price point. What do I have to work with here? $58. Okay. Yeah, the challenges of this $100 account have been surprising, to be honest. I had plans, and I still plan to do this, of doing a $500 and a $1,000 account as well, and starting with those. And I was going to do them in different brokers also, just to show how different brokers' systems work. And those, I mean, you'll see when those come through, those will look a little bit closer to my typical trading accounts. I think, part of me has been wondering if I should just deploy some of the same tactics that I use in the larger account on this. The big thing is I'm less sensitive to relatively small losses because the account is so much bigger. But with this, it feels like, um, it feels like dollars mean so much that it keeps me from potentially holding onto positions, which we've seen play out really poorly lately. Okay, and also it keeps me just out of a bunch of stocks because I just don't have enough money in the account to purchase several stocks. So that gets kind of challenging also. So I'm often left with these like penny stock-ish type plays, though I wouldn't have to be Palantir, Neo. Those are definitely within play. Meme type, or I guess AMC has mostly been in play too. Meme type things like Workhorse and CLOV, also SoFi. See, Zoma, I was hoping it would cool off a little bit. And I guess it did here in the pre-market. But I would still like it to come down toward this like 200 MA. Okay, so UUU cooling off quite a bit, but the volume is also slowing down quite a bit. Sometimes I like to watch the order flows to see, so we're green right now. We're very green, but the outflow is far outpacing the inflow. So it makes me worry that there's a drop coming. Or not worry, I'm not in it at the moment, but SPRT. Yeah. So this has much more inflow at the moment. Yeah. There you go. You're almost at your average daily volume. Hilarious. Did I get to 74.5 overnight? Yeah. Okay. I also think the problem with this, as it pertains to Webull, is I would have to buy 100 shares of this because it's under $1. So it would mean it would be almost my entire account. Now, obviously it's a day trade situation, so I could hop out relatively quickly. But I don't know. Maybe that's been part of my issue, is I'm slow rolling too many things. Oh, Blue W got suspended. Okay. Snail. Well, if this can pick up volume-wise, there could be something here. It's well over its average. But it seems to kind of be slowing down a bit. No great strength yet. Okay. What's happening here? Just trying to see if it really likes holding and hopping off of that 50. Not necessarily. I feel like it's more jumping off the 200 or letting the 20 carry it. Yeah, so what I was saying was I've been kind of wondering if I could treat this more like I do my larger accounts, which I don't do this. To me, this is very crazy making. This, like, try to come in and catch things at open and stuff like that. My larger accounts, I don't trade anything almost ever until at least after the first hour of the market. And I give everything sort of like some time to settle, but I'm also holding things. I'm rarely trading intraday in the larger accounts, and I'm wondering if I should just be treating this smaller account that way. I partially wonder if I've started dealing with the smaller account this way because I've felt that I need to keep making videos about it, and that if I just let a position ride for a few days and a video doesn't come out, that's weird. But I should probably strongly consider ditching that idea. This is not looking great to me at the moment. I'll move that down. Let's see if this does anything off this 200 MA. Not much to go off of here. Look at this stupid volume normally. Yeah. 20 million. Crazy. What's this flow look like? Okay. Getting outpaced big time on the outflows at the moment. Zone staying strong. There's some bullish crossovers here. That MACD is very extended, but I mean, with a runner, it might not matter. I don't know if they really had to suspend Blue W. It doesn't look like it's moving that crazy at the moment, but let's see. Blue W I might look at later to see what it does. I mean, it's just so extended, so I might give it some chance to sell off here. Not even sure where we would look for. Probably have to play, maybe here if it comes down to this 19. Based on that resistance to support. We'll see if it does anything there. If it actually comes down that far. Let's see if Zome's going to give me a dip. I have something at 10 o'clock that I'm going to have to jump off for. Anyway, so if I get a trade in before then, I'll just have to come back and fill you in with what happened because I can't record through it. But that's almost 20 minutes away. So, okay. Support trying to jump off that 20 MA at the moment. Still have more outflows. Inflow catching up though. Yeah, I don't know. Turn to that 200 into resistance real fast. This one's not looking great at the moment. Okay. Is this gonna hop off the 200 or what's the plan here? GSMG. It's a good price point for me because I don't have to buy. I mean, I couldn't buy 100 of them. That's just such an annoying requirement, for something like Zome that's under $1, you have to buy 100. Makes it extra challenging in this type of account. Well, the MACD, if that comes down and we sort of bunch up, test maybe this 200 MA, that could be an opportunity if it shows some good strength off of there. We'll see. These might be worth coming back and taking a look in like a couple hours to see what they're doing. Okay, ride, do you actually have... Volume looks like it's coming down. I'm spotting that. Yeah, see, it's not really holding very much volume at the moment. It's going to need it, I think, to be able to sustain and then continue to push off of a day that's already over 20% up. That's the other factor I'm looking at the moment. But really looking like it wants to hold that 50 at the moment. Okay, that got sold, so I have all of this now. Good lord. Stupid SQLR or whatever the hell it was. I don't think that that's actually the ticker, but whatever that stupid ticker was. God. Going down almost 50% in share price because of atrocious earnings. Unbelievable. Okay, well, here's the dip on Zoom that I was looking for. This one definitely catching some decent volume. Yeah, it's about at its average at the moment. Yeah, I feel like the volume on Ride just really has to pick back up. Really died down on Blue W also. Everything just losing volume really quickly here. It's only 15 minutes in. Okie dokie. We could get a bullish crossover here in the MACD right at the 200 MA, but I just really dislike that this volume has just already been nulled. Okay, maybe some green volume picking back up here. I have to remember if I take any of these, it takes Zoom out of the equation for me because I wouldn't be able to afford something else plus this. I must get like one share of, like 2 shares of Ride or something. But I'd rather do an options day trade as my next opportunity. Snail, snail, snail. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Not liking that at all. Blue W. I mean, I guess might as well see if it comes down to that 1988 if that does anything. 200 MA might be about there at that point too. Okay. Lordstown showing some potential here. Lucky 13. Yeah. How's our flow look? Okay, looking much better. Might pull the trigger on Lordstown here. Two full candles up above the 20 MA. We have the MACD potentially picking back up. We have green volume potentially increasing here. That's the question. I would have rather seen a test of the 200 MA, but you don't always get what you want. But then it makes me wonder, are we just going to? Which would then put me just in a losing position. Alright, this is a nice candlestick over the 20 on Zoom. But that just looks like it's losing volume to me at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna go. Ugh, damn it, reset this. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's see what happens. Well, I might clip this video here and then come back in later. I only have $10, so I'm probably just gonna wait, see if I can close out ride. Or if we come down, I could use that 10 to average down one share if I wanted. But I'm basically going to look and see if it can hold the strength over the 20 here. I might throw a shorter term MA on there too. Yeah, maybe like the 12. To see if I want to stop loss, if it breaks below the 12 or something. But we'll have to see. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on the volume, on the MACD. This is where it feels like I need to get in and out really quickly, but I don't know if I should be thinking that way or not. Because this could continue to pick up as the day goes on. It's still that AMC situation that I didn't let ride that's eating me. Well, and that was this week, and then the Palantir one last week. So just that double dose. This account could be at what, probably $600 or $700 at this point. Just in the last 2 weeks, I could have been coming into this week at about 300, and then with that AMC, yeah, it could easily be 600-700. Could even be 800. But all right, well, I'm gonna clip it here because I gotta go soon anyway. And what I'll do is, if this position is still open, when I flip it back on, you'll see that, or I'll fill you in on what happened. And my plan at this point is to continue to watch these to see what they do as we get through the day here. I'm really hoping this volume stays up on Lordstown. Just going to need it to continue to push. But I'll be looking for either one of these plays at lunchtime, see if anything's sort of picking up for an afternoon run, or looking at an options trade to roll out for the day. I mean, ultimately, I don't have to spend both these day trades today also. Like, if a good setup just isn't there. But I would like to just try to buckle down and get some good trades through. But we'll see what happens. Already curling back down here. All right, I'll catch you in a few. All right, folks. So this isn't much longer. The thing that I thought I had to go do ended very quickly. So it's 10:15 now. My ride came and went, but it was a profitable play. So basically, what happened was I grabbed these at 7:08, and I can show you on the chart. Well, let me see what time I grabbed it. That'll let me show you better. It came out at 7:50. So I held this for 8 minutes, so about 9:49 on ride. It's coming back up again at the moment, so we'll see what happens here. 9:49. So we picked up the shares here as we saw it developing over the 20 MA with increasing green volume, which we could see here in the previous candlesticks, and rode that up. And then when we got up here, and we started to develop this red candle, I set a 1% trailing stop loss because I was up about 7% at that point. And that was changing rapidly. And so on this candlestick, it looks like, or pretty close thereafter, it hit that and came out. So that's where that ended, but I'm happy with that trade just to sort of get things moving in a different direction. And then support.com starting to look really nice here. I do wish the volume would pick up more, The order flow kind of getting a little bit close in. Zoom has more outflow at the moment. Ride still well outpacing. I still think there might be more to come here, but I mean, to be honest, if it wants to come down and test this 200 and give just a much better potential upside, I would take that. Now, NXP, I mean, the volume is just in the toilet on this one at the moment. This, to me, looks like a good motion, but I'm gonna start getting rid of ones that aren't really moving in a direction that I want. So I'm gonna delete this one from my daily watch. I like that it's developing over the 20, but the volume again is just like still dying down. It's like has brief bumps, but nothing really that great. I mean, it still has a lot more volume than its average. But this is already curling back down. All right, I'm going to bump this out. Blue W. About to have a bearish crossover. That 20 crossing below the 50. You see it couldn't hold. It didn't really try at that 1988. I mean, all that I was basing that on was literally this. There was nothing else to draw from there. At least this low. So I'm going to bounce this one out too. Ride. Yeah, we'll keep watching to see what it does at that 200. That could be really interesting. There's this pretty strong support zone here around 660, maybe down to, yeah, probably near down to 650 if we include the ATR, which accounts for how much the price might fluctuate on any given level. Yeah, so this might come down just below 650s. If it wants, looking like it wants to have a bearish crossover there on the MAs, so we'll continue to watch that one. Yeah, this is boring. I'm going to bring in some to the daily watch list that are potential options plays. I don't know that I'm going to take anything here. Support.com. This one is holding up quite nicely, but I'd like to see a dip opportunity here. Oops. Let's see. So I'm just looking at my list again that I had put out this morning. I mean, I know it's all here, but I had made some extra notes on what to look for. Okay. It has liked to bounce off of that 50 MA. I mean, like I said, we're less than an hour and a half into the trading day, so who knows when that stops being the case. It also rejected pretty hard off the 20 here. But let's see, because it has just, like I said, here I'd like to jump off that 50, and then here I'd like to jump off it as well. Thing is, these gains are definitely getting less and less. If we zoom out here to the 1 day, and I'll zoom back in so we can get a little bit better view of the MACD definitely coming down, right? So even though we're sort of testing the same high here as we did here, the MACD much higher over here, much more bullish momentum. So it definitely appears the bullish momentum is peeling off. So I'm going to hold on that for now. Wordstone, I really want to see what it does if it gets to this 200 MA. That would be really interesting to me. But that one to me is holding up the best volume wise. Yeah. You see it's trying to stick really well to that blue line, and where the others are really trailing off. Zoom now trailing off quite a bit, falling below the 200. So I won't watch that too much longer if that doesn't do anything different. All right, AMC, just a good one to watch here. Now I'm going to go to my holding list and see what I want to pull in to my, these aren't actually stocks that I'm holding. This is like an old list, but these have probably a better name for this list at this point is familiar stocks, like stocks I'm just very familiar with. That I like to play frequently. I'll pull Palantir into that daily list. Keep an eye on that. Well, you know what I should have on this is Neo, but I don't. Jumia, I feel like I never do well trading intraday for some reason. I do much better with that. As a swing trade kind of position. I've never put this out, but XLP is this like consumer staples ETF, and it has a crazy channel that it's been holding for an incredibly long period of time. This is, did that actually zoom out? Yeah, this is 2017. It's still in the channel. Okay, so it got into this channel in 2006, and it's followed it up. I mean, ignore all these other lines, but this is on the weekly time frame. So it's followed this up, and it briefly bumped out there, and now it's bumping out of the top. But I mean, the money that could have been made if you had bought the bottom and sold the top time and time again on this crazy run since 2006. So that's something that I always mean to watch closer. I'll throw DraftKings in there for the daily watch. That XLP was just a total sidetrack. Space also. All right, so I'm just adding these, not because I know or think necessarily that they'll do anything interesting today, but these are ones that I commonly play options-wise and have a good history with. So these bottom three now are the ones that I'm watching daily because they had catalysts and runners in the pre-markets. Sorry, were runners in the pre-markets, and then AMC and above are ones that I just have a good history trading intraday. So back to the action. See if anything is developing here. I have a little bit of a crossover on zone. Trying to jump back over that 200, but the volume is still not great. There's actually like a bunch of buy volume coming in. I'd like to see that coming up much more significantly. It would need to close this gap really quickly. Okay, the flows on rides still looking good. Okay, this is okay. Might get a dip on support. Those flows are getting pretty darn close. Okay, we are dipping on support. So that might do something at the 200. Getting mighty close on ride. I mean, at this point, I have some other stuff I really need to do. It's getting close to 10:30, so I might hop out, but just wanted to sort of share. I know this is like an incredibly long video today, and I'll probably put this out as one long video toward the end of the day. Yeah, probably. We'll see. But you know, hopefully this just gives a sense of like at different time frames during the day, what it is that I'm looking for, what it is that I'm sort of adjusting during the day, meaning like watch lists and things like that. But it is sort of at this point that I start to ignore the big gainers here, because unless something really starts to pick back up, I mean, it's just not going to, oops, it's not going to matter. Okay, GSMG maybe picking back up. Speaking of, you see that nice bump up in buy volume. But at this point, you know, at this point, it's pretty extended there on the MACD. Looking like it wants to come back down. Okay. Yeah, I mean, things just change so quickly. That's why I like to settle in at some point during the day. I like to give myself the time to go through the crazy making part of the day. And some folks really thrive on that sort of like scalping and trading really quickly based off of runners in the morning. It just isn't really for me. Like I keep saying, it just makes me a little nutty. And so at some point during the day, I like to settle into keeping those that still look a little bit interesting. I mean, maybe I'll throw that one back in to the mix now that it's looking like it might be throwing up another sign. So let's add this back to the daily, see if it wants to do anything. But at some point, I like to kind of settle in and just see what develops in the midday, especially as things can just kind of look for a second opportunity to run. Maybe there's a good sell-off that hits around lunchtime and then things pick back up in the afternoon. Definitely not always, but sometimes, and that's why I like to just sort of bring in some of these that I'm just familiar with in case something develops with those, and then trim the ones from the daily that just don't seem to be doing much anymore. But as you see with GSMG, sometimes that means you can delete something from your watch list that actually then does have another run left in it. But I mean, speaking of crazy making, I don't want this list to be like 15 tickers long, right? This is plenty for me. I feel like I could maybe add one or two more, but this is 3, 6, 9. So I could maybe have a dozen, but that to me would feel like quite a few. All right, well, at this point, I think I may go do some other stuff, let everything sort of settle where it may, which when you do that, you're inevitably going to miss some opportunities and then just have to pick it up, when you hop back in. But such is the just the realities of not wanting to watch the minute by minute all day, every day. All right, folks, I'll see you in a few. All right, folks, so here we are about 40 minutes before market close on Thursday, August 26th. Let me catch you up on what's happened today, place the overnight trades, and call it a very long video. So basically, I was able to get this back to 103.25 today with my day trades, so now I'm down to zero again. But as you know, earlier in the day, I was down to $95 because of that ridiculous overnight loser I had in SLQT. But I was able to grab a buy on Ride at 708 and take it to 750. And then I grabbed a buy on a secondary run with support.com. I could have had a much better entry there, but my first entry failed and I had to resubmit it. So it cost me probably about 13 cents a share or so. But I was able to get triggered out by trailing stop at 1688. So, so it goes. So nothing phenomenal. I don't think I'm going to make this $120 goal this week because I'm not going to take a super risky position overnight. I think what I want to do at the moment is just chill from all of the craziness and the pressure that I've put on this account in order to grow it. And I'm going to treat it more like I do my larger accounts. Plus, then when I do have day trades, I will come in and do them. But at this point, I'm not going to have a day trade back until Tuesday of next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some trades that I see that look good on the daily, and if I want to hold them for multiple days, then I can. And on days that I do that, I probably won't make a video. And if a video doesn't appear on a certain day, you can just assume that I just held that position, nothing changed, didn't make any adjustments, and I'm just traveling on. Now, one that I took today in my larger account was SENS because of this bullish crossover. 20 could be crossing over the 50, which would be an additional bullish factor. And as we see back here, even though there was this big gap up that treated the price action nicely for a while, that's sort of what kicked off this initial run up. So I'm contemplating that. And it also did build a relatively nice base over the course of a month or so, just consolidating in this area before starting this move up. So I'm thinking strongly about that one. The others that I took, I don't even know what else would even be in my price range, to be honest. This one would be. This is a little bit dicier of a play, though. This one would be as well. Same situation. Those two back to back are sort of in the same boat as it pertains to being a bit chancier of a position. A Palantir has been recovering pretty nicely today, though it's slowing down at the moment, but it might get this 20 crossover. The MACD is not in my favorite position, but it could, like I said, get this crossover of the 20 crossing over the 50, which would be a bullish sign. It's right now situated on the 200, and the degree to which that's adding additional support, is something. Overall, this is caught in my extension levels. If it's going to extend, it's just been kind of batting itself around this 25 or 24.54 zone, this 38.2 extension level, and not doing much of anything else at the moment. Let me see. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to look at, so I have SENS as a possibility, and also if I get lower cost tickers, I could get more than one, and that would give me some sort of flexibility in some way. CLOV, Palantir. I'm not going to go back through to AMC because actually in another broker I have a put position on it, which I should check on because that's probably doing quite well. I think I picked it up when it was like $44 or something today, and it's a $38 put for tomorrow, so I don't want to hold it to tomorrow. Probably, yeah, high of 44.70 something today. So I don't want to sort of have two opposing positions in the same ticker. BB, CLOV, Wish. Could look at those real quick. BB. Okay, it's not bad. CLOV. Like a longer, nice uptick, but also the volume looks like it's not great. Yeah, pretty low volume today. But it's not bad to have low volume on a down day. Wish. Oh, wow. Getting beaten down quite a bit at this point. Probably going to stay away from that at the moment. Oh, God, is that the thing that I lost horribly on? SLQT? Okay. What's Saba? Nope. Too rich for my blood. Alright, so maybe we'll do a BB, a CLOV, and a, God, what was the other one? Oh, a SENS. Alright, so maybe I'll grab those and see. Let me grab CLOV first because that's red. So what do I have to work with here? I have like $95. Why I don't have the full amounts, I don't understand, but whatever. I'm okay not putting my entire account in. But if we split these all about $30 each, that seems fine to me. So take 3 of these. Yes, I know. And BB. Let's take 3 of these. Oh, sorry for the screeching. Small children do whatever they want is the rest of that sentence. And then SENS, I can grab, I'm not going to do a full 10. I'll do 8. What does 8 leave me with? $30. Okay, that works. All right, so that's where I'm going to be for the time being. And if I let these ride multiple days, like I said, I won't come in and just sort of say I'm holding everything, you can assume that that's the case. If I come in and roll something off and then I look to take another position, I might come in and sort of fill you in, but we'll sort of see. I guess in the latest case scenario, I'll come in on Tuesday because it's probably pretty likely I'll be ready to execute that day trade at that time. And we'll see how we do with that. All right, folks, I hope you had a nice trading day, and I hope that you're able to finish the week off strong. And I'm hoping that I can turn this around and make this actually a valuable series. It's been just a sideways, really frustrating couple of weeks, to be honest. But I mean, you've been here, you've seen the opportunities that I've let kind of slip away, namely Palantir and AMC. I know I have to let it go at some point, but I also know that this account could very easily be at $700 at the moment, and we could have 7x'd it in 3 weeks. But I need to figure out a way to deal with that risk and be able to ride out some of these really strong possible opportunities and not cut them loose too quickly and really sort of truncate my profit potential. So I'm going to think more on that while I just roll these out like I would in a larger account, and just, that's always been a winning strategy, and so I'll deploy that here for the time being while I try to reconfigure what I think I could make happen with such a small account, being that I've been so sensitive to such small losses along the way. Okay, for real this time. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.